Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia, I am a tarot coach and this is the brand new edition of the weekly tarot check-in. In this short video you are going to have a weekly tarot check-in. I don't say forecast because it is not about telling a future, but it is very much rather about looking into the main topic of the week, looking into the opportunities, risks and potentials that may be waiting for us next week, and also asking for some advice and seeing how can we manage all this in the best way and what is the lesson in all this. As always, I would like to remind you that this is going to be a general check-in. It means that it may show up in very different ways in your own individual life. That's why I encourage you to pick up what resonates, mix and match, and create your own meanings. All right then, let's get started. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the main topic of the next week is determined by the moon. The moon is all about intuition, illusions, anxiety, emotions, repressed emotions, and all kinds of subconscious matters that are kind of repressed or that are in the shadow world. As you can see, this is kind of dark card. It signifies that not everything is as it seems, and we may not see clearly regarding a situation. So this card is a reminder that again, we may not see everything and we have to pay attention to this. Another very interesting aspect of this card is a projection. It means that we may still carry harmful aspects from the past and we are projecting our fears into the future, this way creating and recreating our past. Right, so it is also a very interesting aspect of this card, and this aspect is also confirmed by the complementary minor arcana card, which is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is also about a situation where we have an opportunity, something is being offered to us, right? However, we are not really sure whether we want to take this cup or not. As you can see, this guy is still considering. He seems to be kind of withdrawn and being kind of unsure whether he wants to take this cup or not. And the reason for this hesitation may be that, again, he may have made some bad experiences in the past, and given that they were not good, these experiences, he may be reluctant to try a new one because he is afraid that the past is going to repeat itself. Therefore, it may be a good idea to first check in with ourselves, look into ourselves, sit down, meditate, and do some self-reflection work to see whether we want to take this opportunity or not, and to also see what kind of emotions, past experiences, and other maybe subconscious matters are influencing us, and checking in with them. Okay, so again, putting these two cards together, I guess that the next week is going to be about some uncertainty, not really being sure what do we want to do, how do we want to go on with something. And it can be also be about rejecting something new based on bad past experiences. So if this is the case, please remind yourself that your fears and your illusions may not be true, and it is your job to reflect on them and see whether they are real or not. Okay, now let's take a look at what risks and potentials are waiting for us next week. We have here the reversed death. This is very interesting, by the way, because we had the very same card here last week. And this card is again about transformation and change. I like to emphasize that the death is one of the most positive cards in the whole deck because it brings change. It means that something has come to its natural end and something new is approaching. However, given that this card is reversed, we may assume that this change may be blocked by something, right? And given that we had the Moon card here together with the Four of Cups, I guess that again we carry some harmful aspects from the past, and these old bad memories may block us from embracing change and growing through this transformation process. Right? So this may be one aspect of this card. Another interpretation of this reverse death card is that this change is already hanging in the air, it's already ongoing, and this is already happening internally. So it may also mean that we are actually doing this internal purging process that is necessary for being able to let go the past so that we can embrace the new. So we may be actually already on the way of change and working on through this internal releasing process, and we may be on the way of letting go and saying yes to the new. This card is completed by a reversed Five of Wands. The Five of Wands can be seen normally in a normal position as a playful kind of competition and the like. However, given that we have this card reversed, I assume that we talk here about a kind of competition or conflict, or maybe even a kind of a game, and it can be an internal conflict or an external one. In case we talk about an internal conflict, again, it can mean that we are still kind of struggling with ourselves, and we are still struggling with the harmful aspects of our past, as we have seen here, and that's why we are kind of unable, or we are struggling to move on, so to go through this death process. Or it can also mean that we may get into kind of conflict with an external world. So we may have some conflict with some other people. Maybe we may find ourselves in some kind of games. And of course, this is not a nice thing. It can also mean that we are kind of avoiding conflict and we don't want to get into that, maybe out of fear, maybe because we don't want to face some things and some emotions, for example. Okay, so how can we manage all this in the best way? Here we have a beautiful card, and that's the Temperance. The Temperance, as you can see, radiates calm, balance, temperance, tranquility, patience. It is all about being patient, being calm, and trying to avoid extremes. And instead of going left or going right, for example, in case of a conflict, in case of defending yourself or attacking others, trying to find this middle path, this middle way, trying to find your inner balance and a position where you can really take a look at things with a calm and from a calm and balanced position without any, without any prejudice and the like, and really see things as they are. And it is also about taking a look at your long-term goals, right? So it is not about winning in a conflict, for example, at all costs, as we will see soon, but it is about asking the question, what is important to me? What are my long-term visions, and what is my purpose in the long run? And acting and managing these conflicts accordingly, right? It is also about listening to your inner voice, listening to your intuition, and again, trying to find a balanced and harmonized way of managing things by mixing different aspects and things together. So, for example, by considering in a conflict all the different opinions and trying to find the middle path, right? This card is completed by a reversed Five of Swords. As you can see, the Five of Swords is also about conflict. We have two fives here, by the way. Oh, sorry. Fives are always about conflicts. And the Five of Swords is also about conflict. The Five of Swords is about a situation when you try to win at all costs. It is about when you don't really consider the costs, but you really try to make sure that you are right and this is the most important thing to you. However, it may not result in a good situation. So at the end, you may kind of win, but you may soon realize that it was not worth. Given that this card has come up reversed, it tells me that it may be a good idea to think of this and to consider whether does it really make sense to you to try to win at all costs or not. It brings us back to the question, what is really truly important to you and what you would like to achieve in the long run, right? Another interesting aspect of this card is that it is an invitation for releasing and trying to find peace and trying to find a compromise with others, right? So it's really about accepting, releasing, and trying to find peace again instead of winning at all costs, right? And another third interesting aspect of this card is that it may be also about a situation when some old wounds have been opened and you have to deal with them again. It is again about the past. It may remind you again, as we have seen here with the Moon and the Four of Cups. It may remind you again of old situation where you have been wounded, and it may be that these old wounds has not been healed yet. And again, this may be a problem because if you haven't healed your old wounds, they may cause you harm in your present and in your future as well. So putting these two cards together, I would say that here we have a beautiful invitation to try to find the inner middle path, trying to avoid extremities and really trying to resolve those internal or external conflicts from a very balanced and calm position when you are where you are really, again, you look at your long-term purposes and you really try to look at things from a different aspect. Okay, last but not least, I would like to show you the whole constellation and wrap this whole message quickly up. For this, I have to readjust the camera. Okay, there we go. So, again, next week is going to be about the past, old wounds, old maybe bad experiences that may still influence us in some way. Therefore, it is going to be a topic and it is an invitation to take a look at yourselves, do some internal reflection work and see what kind of old wounds, repressed emotions, etc. are or may hold you back from embracing change. We have the opportunity for this change, as we see here. We have here the death card. So change is actually hanging in the air, and again this may be blocked by these old repressed feelings or illusions, and it may also lead to some internal external conflict, and the solution is going to be to find a balanced middle way, because this way we are going to be able to manage this all and find peace of mind. Okay, I hope that it was helpful, and I really hope that you are going to find this middle path, the golden path, as they say. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I wish you a wonderful week ahead. See you next week. In case you liked it, please don't forget to push on the like button. You are also welcome to subscribe and to share. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you next week. Till then, take care of yourselves. Ciao.